Welcome. It's Predestined the Podcast. Of course, it's me, Pre. And today I have a super lit guest. Super lit guest. Listen, we went to high school together. We grew up together. You know what I mean? Then he went out to be a track star at Penn State. You know what I mean? He did the Omega Psi Phi thing. You know what I mean? Fast forward, he's out here, the youngest judge in Pennsylvania, and he's black. And y'all know I root for everything black. Today I have Hanif Johnson, the one, the only, and now you a boxer.
I'll be doing a little something. This is a little amateur boxing.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited to have you on the show. Seriously.
Yeah. As soon as I seen you said you got a podcast, I'm like, let me on that joint.
Yeah, you know, it was nothing. I was like, let's set it up.
Yeah.
Say less. So, I mean, we can catch up with kind of how you got here.
Oh man, I think it was more so what I was experiencing after college. I went through a little rut, if you want to call it that. I was in school, got into a little legal situation where I was had to have my degree on hold. I was sitting at home. I had a lot of time to reflect, see who my friends was, see who was really there for me.
That'll happen in the dark times.
I lost everything at a snap of a finger, and I had to make a decision. Am I going to get everything back, or I'm going to fold? And I chose, I'm going to climb out this hole, and I think it just gave me a lot of things to add to my character, because I don't want to say gave me character, because I would always think that I always had character.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So I think it just added to me, and it just, I just had to man up, buckle down, and just, bite down hard and just, and grind a lot harder. Take jobs that I didn't want, and I think that helped me even when I started campaigning. Because even when I campaigned, I was working for the state, and it was one of them situations where it was like, all right, you can only do one or the other. You can either run and lose your job, or you can quit your job, run and win, and get a new job. So it was just like a big win or a big loss.
Yeah.
So that Friday I walked in and I told my supervisor, listen, I'm thinking about doing this judge thing. He was like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, so I might quit on Monday. So I talked it over with my family. Everybody was a little skeptical.
Yeah, because that's a loss to take.
So I'm like, I'm calling my best friend. Call my best friend. She like, boy, yeah, blah, blah, blah. You should do it. I'm just like, all right, well, then I'm going to do it. I walked in on Monday. It was slid the paper. My supervisor just had this shocked look on his face oh.
Like, you for real?
I'm like, yeah, I'm not playing. I quit. Today is my last day. And it was just a lot of chitter chatter around the office. He crazy. He ain't gonna win. He blah blah blah.
Naysayers,
man. Then that next couple months was rough. I just bought a Jag.
Ooh.
Oh man, carpet was crazy. So I just bought a Jag. And, I was house shopping, and I didn't even plan on it because George, the guy that was here before, I didn't know he was gonna retire. And where I was registered to vote, it was in a different area.
Okay.
But then, I didn't know about, the redistricting and drawing the line. So when I went back to the previous election, I was in another jurisdiction.
Okay.
So then this year, I was in George's. And then when I found out that he was retiring, then I was like, what?
Wow,
I still got a shot at this? I'm going to do it because I already planned it a year out.
Right.
So then, I just straight jumped into it. I was working odd jobs. I ain't have no income for real. I was working with people that ain't speak English. They was paying me $70 a day.
Oh, man.
It was rough. And I had a baby on the way, and I already had a daughter. So I had to make sure she had the stuff she needed. So it was crunch time. I was walking around tired. It was rough.
That's crazy, but that's such a story of resilience though, to really bet it all. And when they say bet on yourself, and some people, they're not, you know what I mean, they're like, yeah, but I still need a job. I still have these things to provide. I have these people to provide. I have these people depending on me. It's easy to say go for your dreams or go for what you want, to accomplish your goals and take risks and sacrifices, but to actually do it,
it's another thing. Especially
it's a whole nother thing, and then to stay committed to it.
A lot of times, like, people be like, oh, I don't know. Like you said, it's like they want that security blanket. But when you're young, you got to bump your head. You got to make mistakes, or you got to go after stuff. Because if you always take the traditional route, you're just going to be, like, a traditional person.
Right.
Nobody that's, like, extraordinary has, like,
not taking a loss.
A regular story. Like,
right.
they homeless, turn into this, turn into a millionaire. You're like, oh, my God. But, like, what if that just, I was homeless and I just stayed homeless and was like, yeah, I'm going to just beg for change. Like, you can't think like that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's crazy.
And I feel like that even, like, super resonates with me right now because, like, I literally got laid off in January and... You know, some people was like, oh, what are you going to do? Like, da-da-da-da. Like, and then I was cool. Yeah. It was like, this is literally probably, like, the push I needed to, like, really go and do the things that I want to do that matter to me in real life. Instead of, you know, helping somebody else build their dreams. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was just something that I don't have a choice now.
Yeah,
I gotta make it.
So now it's like,
and
hey,
I like nice things, so I don't have no choice but to be successful.
Hey, do what you want to do now. It's like, all right, y'all, I needed y'all to do this for me. Thank you.
Yeah, I needed that. Yeah, I definitely needed that. But then to, like, you know what I mean, hear how you really bet it all on yourself, like, that's mad inspiring. Yeah. Like, I needed that. That was the word.
What was you at a couple months ago?
Like, that was the word.
Yeah.
That's so lit. But so you said, like, the legal problems is what really made you want to be the judge, though? Because I even remember when we was younger, and I feel like this is, like, even important to, like, put into perspective. Like, you were always, like, super brilliant, but you was, like, hilarious. You was a class clown. Yeah. And it's like, I feel like a lot of young black males in particular, but young black kids in general, they'll get, like, labeled with, like, behavior problems and stuff like that, when it's really, these kids is brilliant, y'all just don't know how to encourage their gifts.
Yeah.
And then to, like, go from that to, like, Penn State to, like, where you are now, like, I'm sure there's, like, so many teachers that are probably like, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, a lot of them was like, all right, this kid's always been educated. He always, you know, did well in school. So I think that's a lot of times that's what saved me in a sense. Because I think, like, for me, it was basically mental stimulation when I was younger. So it's like you get bored, you're not doing too much. It's like, what am I going to do? I'm going to be a kid.
Right.
So it's like, and then a lot of times I tell people, if you base everybody off of who they are today when they was 13 years old or 15 years old.
When we was young ratchets.
Yeah, it's like if you do that, then, like, what would anybody be today? It's like, oh,
exactly.
Did you act like this when you were 16? No. So it's just like, I'm a grown man, so I'm gonna act like a grown man.
Right.
And I tell people, no, I'll give you this side, and I might give somebody else this side. Or it's like, you know, professional setting, personal setting. I just, like, I separate the two very well. I think, in my opinion, I'm able to, because a lot of the times when people get to know me, they're like, boy, you crazy. And I was like, you know, I like to have fun. I'm not just going to be boring.
You're right. I mean, that's always been you, though. Yeah, like, you've always been hilarious.
Yeah, turn it on, turn it off.
So, like, some misconceptions, because when I know me, like, when I first heard that you was running, I was like, oh, that's dope. And I was like, was Hanif a lawyer?
Yeah.
But I didn't know the difference between, like, appointed and, like, elected judges. And I feel like a lot of people don't know kind of, like, what that is and, like, that process, and kind of even maybe what kind of misconceptions do you feel like there are as far as, like...
Okay, so a lot of people like to say district justice, which is different. A magistrate is different. A magisterial district judge is different.
Oh, those are all three different things.
Those are all three different things. Like, there's justices are the highest you can go, right? Mm-hmm. So it goes magisterial district judge. You either have to have a law degree or you have to get certified. The certification is like where they jam, like, law school in, like, 1 month. Not law school, but, like,
learning
the things that pertain to this.
Okay.
And a lot of people think it's like, oh, if you're not a lawyer, then you don't know. There's a lot of lawyers that practice, like, civil law. They come into this and they have no clue because they have to deal with criminal stuff and all of those things, and they're just, like, clueless. So, as far as, like, preparedness and, like, case law and things of that nature, at this level, honestly, just think, like, if you can have the certification, it's the same as if you were to even go to law school in a sense, because, like,
and there's books.
Yeah,
and there's resources.
A lot of time, and like, and this job is like a lot of experience. It helps because it's like even when you come in here, it's like lawyers. We talk, and it's like, oh, I have no clue about this or no clue about that, and they're just like clueless. But the next level, which is the Court of Common Pleas in Pennsylvania, and then it's like the Superior Court and the Commonwealth Court and the Supreme Court. Those are required. You have to have a law degree to move up with those. And as far as like appointments and elected, so what happens is like appointments is like, that's how federal judges are.
Okay.
So there is no election at all. So they get the word from the senator, he puts in the word for the president, and then they come down and elected, hey, you're a judge. Okay. And then those like district judges, they appoint somebody to be their magistrate underneath them. So it's like, oh, you can be my magistrate to help me out. So that's a magistrate judge. Okay. So then you got a middle district judge, which does the federal district that they're in. So it's just like a whole lot of stuff. And that's on the appointment side. Or if there was a vacant spot like here and they didn't have election, they will go in and just appoint somebody to take the seat. Now, elections, the people have to vote them in for these seats. So that's the difference between an appointment and an election. Like the people vote one, and then the higher up elected officials or the person above them, they put them in that position. They put them
in the position.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I feel like even that's cool. The fact that, you know what I mean, you're here where we grew up, and like you're a judge. I know for a fact you see people we went to school with all the time.
Oh, for sure, all the time, all the time. And it's like it's hard to even go out. So it's just like everybody want to talk to me. Everybody want to tell me to call them. It's like if you don't have my number, or if you ain't have my number, don't try to get it now. You don't have my number, so why do you want to try to get it now to talk to me about? Oh, can I talk to you now? So it's just like a lot of that. Just sometimes it's just like. Is
it ever like weird and awkward when like people come in that we like know or can you like pass those off?
I can. Like if it gets to the point where it's like, I don't think I can be fair with this one. Okay. But a lot of times it's like I feel like I can be fair, and it's just like me knowing you might even help you in a sense, because I mean like even when you get somebody. Because when you're a magisterial district judge, you have to live in your district. Right. So it's in your neighborhood. You know community. People in your neighborhood. You know people in your community. Like, you know that. Like, so it's like if someone gets in trouble. You have a better
judge of character.
You do. So if I know you and I've known your life and I know, like, I can't just be like, oh, I'm going to act like I don't know that you never got in trouble before. You was a good person. You never got suspended in high school when we went together. You was a pretty cool dude. Like, I mean, situation happens. I mean, I'm not going to say
inevitable. It's inevitable, kind of.
I feel like that happened.
It happens, I'm sure. So, do you feel like there are like pressures with like being like black in this position?
Of course,
especially because Zozo was in this position for like
36 years.
36 years.
The man, the myth, the legend. He was in here for 36 years. And
that's a long time
they love that man.
To hold a position.
Man, every time I knocked on somebody's door, they just had nothing positive things to say about him. I mean, he started getting a little older and,
Yeah.
But then, like,
36 years is a long time.
36 years is a long time, so I already imagine. And he still does it, too. He's a senior judge.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So every now, here and there, he jumps in the seat. Not up here, but, like, he does, like, night court and stuff like that. And if, like, somebody needs somebody to come in, like, he jumps back in there. So
everybody knows that.
Yeah, he didn't give it up. So, he definitely left a legacy behind. But just like me being black in this position, like a lot of people they don't like it. And, I've heard that they don't like it. And sometimes I've noticed that they don't like it. And they even try me sometimes. And it's like, then they're like, oh, he knows about this or he knows about that. Then they're like, okay, I thought I was going to be able to pull a fast one. No,
right.
Not happening.
Got to be quicker than that.
Yeah, or they try to, like, try to bully me or some things like that. Or just like, other... I say it. The other judges or some of them, like, on the outside, they have, like, little ways about them that they're, like, doing stuff or saying stuff, and it's just, like...
Just trying to throw salt in the game, pretty much.
It's like, come on, man. Like, if you tell me you're going to help me. Don't try to go behind my back and make me look bad or just,
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or not even get a better understanding or jump to conclusions. Because I like to keep it real, so we're going to keep it real. So
right.
that's who I am. And it ain't no point to be walking around being fake and trying to act like we this and we that. Like, stop it.
Right.
Yeah, don't do that.
Listen, I feel like you've always been that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know in Harrisburg, I know America in general, like, we both know that the justice system is very broken. Like, very, very broken. And we both know that, you know, black and brown people are disproportionately affected by, you know, the justice system and stuff like that. So, do you see, even in, like, your courtroom, like, the trend where it is, like, more of a socioeconomic thing more than anything?
I mean, crime itself is a socioeconomic thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you look at it in the terms of demographics, your inner city is always, you know, heavily populated with, you know, black people, Hispanic people.
Right.
And then the suburbs more like, you know, Caucasians, white people type time. So everyone knows that you're more likely to interact with a police officer in the inner city. So just based off of that alone, you're going to have more contact. You're going to have more individuals that are being accused of crimes that they possibly couldn't, you know, that they possibly didn't commit. So right. It's just, I think it's just
because
like
we're criminalized.
Yeah, I think it's just the police contact. The opportunity for police contact is heightened, and then you have the neighborhoods, the disparity of, like, you know, the income disparity and things of that nature, because a lot of time crime is a motive for this or things that someone doesn't have. So I think it's just like it all comes down to that, because it's like if you have things, you're not going to commit crime unless you're talking about like white collar crimes. But other than that, it's just like a lot of times like crime is like opportunities or things that you think you don't have, or just like dumb stuff, or you just have like children that are funneled into it when they turn 18. They get like a small possession of marijuana, so then when that happens, now they got a misdemeanor. They didn't know it, so now they're just like, oh, I didn't know it was a misdemeanor. Now it's hard for them to get a job,
right?
And now you lose your license because you got charged with marijuana, so now you can't use your license for 6 months. Now you drive without a license, now you got a year suspension. So now you get called again. Now you got a year suspension after that year's up, after the 6 months is up.
Right.
So now
just
you don't
building
have,
on to
yeah,
each
so now
other.
you got like 3 years off of something that's like, oh, you got caught with a small amount of weed and it's legal somewhere else, not legal here. But then the police have the option to make it a fine, but they don't feel like making it a fine, so they're going to make it a misdemeanor, or they make you plead guilty to one of the things and not the other so you can have a misdemeanor. So I see it all the time, and it's just like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much more things, and it's just like, they're young, so they don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that's a thing. It's disheartening because it's like, you know, like they don't know. And then even beyond that, it's their environment.
Yeah.
It's their environment. And then once they do get funneled in, like you say, it's hard to get out. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get out. Yeah. And you have to continue doing the things that you were already doing to, you know, make it or make a living or survive. And
that's their thought process.
Yeah.
And that what keeps the cycle going. And it's sad, because I see it all the time. You know, I snatch a lot of kids up and I ask them what they doing, and I, you know, try to just give them a different look at life. And I tell them what I do, and they just so surprised.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I did this, I did that, I grew up here, I grew up there, I did this when I was younger. And they just mouth open like, oh. I'm like, yeah, you don't have an excuse. So now,
yeah.
Fix it.
So now what are you doing? Who do you want to be?
Exactly.
That really comes down to it's like letting kids and, you know, younger people know that they have options.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have to go this way. And even if you're going in that direction, like, you can change directions. Yeah. You have a whole world of opportunity open to you. And
I think it all starts with, like, even with, like, the kids, so they go to, like, these behavior schools. So when they're in the behavior school, they're getting, like, little worksheets. They're so far behind on curriculum. So, like now they're out of school, they're going to placements. They're not, you know, caught up on credit. So now when they come back, they're not ready to go to college. So it's like, dang, you just took this child, and now they're not, you know, and you're not going to be productive.
They're not even able to compete.
They're not. So now you just put them. It was already behind it behind the 8 ball. Now you just like put them further back. So it's like, all right,
they're
now,
not even on the pool table no more.
They're on the floor.
They
got knocked off the table. So it's like, dang, like it's like, all right, so now, all right, go to college. What? Right. So then they have this fear.
Barely reading.
Yep, barely reading. Then they have this fear.
Comprehension.
They have this fear of what college is, and it's like, yo, and I always ask them, like, when I go talk, like, there's a place, right? There's people between, like, the ages of, like, 18 and, like, usually, like, 24, no adults around, and you just get to, like, live life for, like, a couple years. And they're like, well, like, it's called college.
Yourself.
And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah. Like, everybody's so afraid. Like, you get to do what you want, create your path. I mean, you don't need college, but I think it's a great opportunity.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
I think when people say like college isn't for everybody, I don't completely agree. I feel like there's a school for everybody.
Yeah.
I feel like there's everybody, like you find your tribe in school. If you pick the right school, you're going to run into your tribe. There's somebody like literally for everybody in college.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't finish, even if, you get there and decide it's not necessarily what you want to do, I just feel that everybody should at least just go and experience it. Because it's an experience, like, that you can't get anywhere else. Like you said, you're a young adult. You're completely on your own. You have to kind of fend for yourself. You're learning all these new things. You're being put into, like, these different social, situations that you've never been in before.
Whole different atmosphere.
You know what I mean? It really, like, it makes you who you are.
I got re-socialized when I went to Penn State.
Listen.
Re-socialized.
Listen, because it really is. It's a whole different world.
Yeah.
And it's like you're away from home. You're away from your parents. You're away from your friends that you grew up with most of the time. Especially us. We went to, like, bigger schools.
Yeah.
So it's just like... You know what I mean? And we're from a smaller town.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, wow. Like, met people from all over the world. There's so much opportunity there. But, yeah, I definitely understand the re-socializing, too. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I wouldn't have made a different choice.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have made a different choice. Yeah, the loan sucked. The loan sucked. I was broke. I was broke. I'm going to be playing Sally probably till I die. But it was, as far as the experience, it was worth it to me. So, yeah. So, I don't really like when people, like, encourage kids to not go to college, even though, it is expensive. There's smarter ways to do it. Yeah. Like, just encourage them to go smarter. Get scholarships. Yeah. Like, don't keep the refund money. Give that back.
Yeah, right.
Like, if I knew some of the stuff that I knew now, I wouldn't be in the debt that I'm in. Yeah. I wouldn't have cashed out on my Pell Grant and went on cruises.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, financial literacy puts us behind, too. Is like, there is no, like, a lot of black people, there ain't no creation of generational wealth. We're not opening up, like, retirement accounts when we're, like, in our early 20s or even 18, in that fact. We're not opening up we're not putting anything in stocks, bonds, or anything like that. I mean, I just finally opened up like a separate like a Roth IRA, which is you can put money into it after tax money, and like I just did it. I always told myself I was going to do it. Mr. Steps told me about it when we was in high school, and he told me to do it. And he showed me he showed me a breakdown. He actually showed me a breakdown. It's like if you do it by the age of 18 and you max it out, you'll have $1 million by this time. And he showed me a chart. And he was like, you need to open up one when your kids turn 16 and they're able to work. You need to put the maximum amount in there for them for that year and let them work so that they can have this and that. And it's like, I was an econ major, so I know a lot of things about, finances and stuff like that. And it's just like, I was like, all right, I broke down. I was like, I'm going to use it. I'm going to do this. So I was like, I hide money from myself. I put it in a savings account. Yep. I automatically withdraw stuff out my check, send it to this account. So like,
that's how you have to do it, though.
You have to.
Because if you don't see it, it makes it so much easier to save it.
Exactly.
Like, that's how if you don't see it, you're not even thinking that you have it to spend. Yeah.
And a lot of times I'll be like, oh, I do got this little, like, sneaky, if I needed money over here.
Right. If things get, tight.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, I forgot. And I look up and like, oh, I got a couple hundred in there.
And we also was like, what made it easier to save for me is like I'll use accounts that I can't just grab from.
Mm-hmm.
Like I either have to like write somebody to take the money from it, or it takes multiple days for it to come. So it deters me because it's like, well, I need this right now,
so I
can't even. It's gonna take me 3 days anyway, so I'm not even. It's cool.
Yeah.
Like it deters you from even spending on stuff you really don't need because it's just like I would have to like do the most to even get the money.
That's why I have an online savings account.
Yeah, I have one of those too.
Yep, not even a real. It's an online bank. There is no building you can go to.
There's no building. Yeah, I have no access.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
So yeah, but definitely I agree. Like financial literacy is like a big thing. I feel like they should be teaching that in high school.
They should, but they don't.
Like especially in the inner city.
It don't make sense because like once you get done with college, you don't have no credit. You're not getting nothing.
Nothing.
And the crazy thing is, credit is what gets you everything.
Everything.
And there's nothing,
or when you like get introduced to it in college, because I know me personally, I trashed my credit in college. I was like, if they had all these cute little tables lined up, like, yeah, you can apply for this, and if you get it, you get $2,000. You get $4,000. What? Where do I sign up? I'm in college and I'm broke. Like, what? I signed the dotted line so quick. Got me some credit cards. I ain't got no job. You giving a 19-year-old like $4,500 on a credit card.
That's horrible.
Me and my friends went straight to KOP.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Like, what? And then, like, you don't even think about it because it's like, oh, all right. Like, when you're that young and you don't know anything,
like,
it's
like, pay it back.
I'm going to pay it back. And then you don't realize there's interest.
Mm-hmm. And then you pay the minimum payments. It can take you like 30 years.
Exactly.
The 4,000 to turn into 16.
Real quick.
Oh, my gosh.
Real quick.
I learned that late, too.
Listen. And it's just like, I feel like they prey on us because they know. They're young. They don't get taught this. You know what I'm saying?
Interest rate, 24%.
24, 26, 27.
But here's the interest rate when you got good credit. 0.03.
Exactly.
2%.
Exactly.
Car loans be 3%.
Listen, I even know, like, some of my friends now, and I feel like now that we're older, we know these things. Yeah. So I feel like we'll kind of instill those things into our kids and stuff like that. Like, we'll let them know. Even though I can't lie and say that my mom didn't tell me things because she did. Yeah. But my eyes was wide open. Like,
but it wasn't like, yo, you got to set this up. Yeah. You got to do this, and this, so you can get here, so you can have this, or just set it up. Exactly. Like, no, there was no setup.
There was none.
Yeah.
There was none. Yeah. And I feel like kind of our counterparts, you know, the other people.
Oh, for sure.
You know, they're set
secure
up.
Credit cards. You're going $5,000 just to start your credit, build it up.
Listen.
Crazy.
When they're kids, they're like authorized users on their cards that they're paying on, so they're building credit. Like, they don't even have credit cards, but they're getting credit built when they're kids. So I feel like that is like, you know, that's been to our demise a little bit, but I feel like it's getting more attention.
We have nothing. We don't have any land. We don't have any houses. We don't have businesses. We're not supporting each other. It's just
yeah. But I mean, I honestly feel like there's a push, and it might just be like my little silo because, you know, I'm super selective about who I follow and what I follow on social media. So a lot of the people that I see or that I follow or that are around me are like making pushes to buy property, to start businesses, to,
this is the people that's getting woke. Because I was not woke. And once I woke up, I'm like, why haven't I noticed this? Why didn't you tell me this before? I should have been woke.
Right.
So it's like one of them things is just like...
And it'll really hold you back.
It does, but it's like no one's saying this to me when I'm younger. No one's letting me know this stuff. I'm just going in this thing blind. Like, I'm just accepting the world the way it is. Mm-hmm. And I'm not challenging it. I'm not trying to make us better. I'm not doing anything to make it different. I'm just saying, okay. So that's when I wake up, I ain't going to vote. Vote don't make no difference. It don't change nothing. But who controls everything?
Right. And where is that narrative even coming from? Like, who doesn't want you to vote? Who wants you to believe that so you don't go out and vote? Like, who's benefiting from that? Because who's actually going to go vote?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Whose streets don't got potholes the size of your car?
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy.
Like, all of these things, like, they factor in. Like, pay attention to who's voting and what they're what their neighborhoods look like and who's not voting and what their neighborhoods look like.
You got population 80% black, but then the guy that's overseeing it or in charge of it is not black at all. So it's just like one of the things like, you know.
And not even interested in the people that live there.
Yeah. And everything ain't about race, but in the same token, it's just like...
It plays a part.
It plays a part. Because it's just like, you got to do better. It's like you got to want better. You just got to wake up.
Yeah, and I feel like education is the major piece. Like, just wanting to know more. To do better. To do better, you got to know better.
Man,
you got to know better.
That high school's off the chain.
Is
I had
it?
cases where I went up there and it's like, it's off the chain. It's crazy.
Really?
Yes. Woo.
For real? Like worse than when we were in school?
Yeah.
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 Oh man, that's scary though.
They was talking about
getting.
they was talking about getting rid of SciTech. I said, how dare you?
No.
Why would you?
Really?
Yeah. But whatever. I'm glad they didn't.
I'm glad they didn't. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, they're crazy.
No, I feel like that's important.
I wouldn't even have probably made it to college if I didn't go to SciTech.
Listen, SciTech was a major. SciTech, like, made my college experience. Because, first of all, being able to take AP classes and stuff like that.
Be dual enrolled.
Dual enrollment. Like, all of that saved me so much money in school.
Yeah.
So much money. It saved me so much money, so much time. I felt like I was actually prepared.
Yeah.
Like, I know so many people that came from high schools that they were, like, culture shocked. It was like, I don't even know how to survive in this environment. Like, I don't even know what to do. They didn't know. It's
stuff going on in other states. I think it was, like, Indiana. They had a curriculum built and based to the point where when you left high school, you were a junior in college.
Wow.
So when you went to college, you were a junior, and some of their curriculum and programs had you graduate within 1 year. You only had to go like a half a semester.
Are you serious?
I looked at it, and it was like you're putting the expectation on these children. Like, it's just lower. You're not even challenging them. So if you give them this work and they're able to do it, let them do it and let them become, greater at a higher rate at a speed than like what you're teaching. So it's just like, let them be able to do these things. Let them gain this experience. Let them have this education. It's crazy. I was watching it. It was some on TV, and I was just like, mouth was open. I'm just like,
that's dope. I definitely gotta look into that. Especially because, so many people are like understimulated in the schools. Mm-hmm. It's like these teachers, they have all these students, all these kids are on such different levels, and it's just like, how do you curtail to both ends of the spectrum? And it's like, if you're giving the people the stuff that they can do, it just makes more sense.
Imagine being able to learn whatever you can learn, and not having to work, somebody taking care of you, supporting everything you need, paying all your bills while you learn. That's a kid. So it's like, if you do that in high school, you just allow them the chance and the opportunity without gaining all of this debt at the same time. Why not do it?
That's perfection.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
Seriously.
If I knew what I knew now, I definitely would have been in like junior year in my school. Because when you go to SciTech, you get that block schedule. Yeah. So your senior year is pointless in a sense.
Yeah, I was out of school by 10.
Yeah, I would have been doing all college classes, general education classes, to save money, and then once I got there, just to have that, to be able to just be more flexible with things.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It definitely saved me because I switched my major like my junior year, and I still only ended up having to be there one extra semester. So like all of that stuff at the end of high school, like, it saved me. I would have probably been there another 2 years.
That's it. And then, like, me knowing what I know, my children are not going to experience a lot of the things that I experienced. Point blank, period.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I mean, and that's the beauty of learning as you go. Like, you get to pass that on.
Exactly. So
this has been like a sore spot for me because I know so many people like affected with it, affected by it. The marijuana dispensaries and the fact that there are so many non-violent like drug offenders in prison, and it's just like, I don't understand how they're really about to profit off of something that they literally have people in jail for without letting those people go. And even with, like, you know, there's supposed to be this justice reform bill or whatever that's supposed to be being passed, but it literally, when you look at it, it's only going to affect about 6,000 people that are in the system.
The decriminalization of it? Of marijuana, in a sense? You talking about decriminalizing it?
Yeah, well, decriminalizing it, or the fact that it's a profitable business now.
I mean, if you even think about it, like the times of prohibition.
True.
It's just like, all right, we gonna keep fighting this, or are we just gonna get with the program? And I think it's a time where they're saying they're gonna get with the program, but there's just still some fighting in a sense before it happened, and it's gonna happen, in my opinion. That I think it's gonna become legal. It's a high disparity on who's affected by it, and I think, you know, once they are able to just, you know, control it in the sense of how they're I don't want to say that. Once they're able to control, like, how people are using it, like with the dispensaries, once they're able to control that and just, you know, come up with a system where it's like, all right, well, if this person has this medically, how are we gonna you know, check them for DUIs? I think that's the biggest part that's gonna come out of it, the DUI component, because of how long marijuana stays in your system if you frequently use it. Like cocaine is out your system for like 72 hours. Heroin, 72 hours. Like, all those high-end drugs are those drugs that are used by majority of other cultures, in the sense, are all out your system. So I honestly think it's like one of those, like, things that are affect the urban area in a sense again. So I think it's like, it's good to just, like, because it's like, it's something that's small to me, and I think that a lot of people get caught up in it, and it, like, ruins their lives. So I think them, like, going towards legalizing it all the way, it's a good thing. But as far as, like, people being in jail for it and stuff like that,
yeah, especially because there's people that have been, like, hit with, like, minimum sentences and stuff that are sitting in jail for something that's about to be legal.
Yeah,
like, that's crazy, because a vast majority, well, I know our population, we have more people in jail than any other place in the world, and half of those are drug crimes.
Yeah. The war on drugs is a whole
gosh,
game, and
it was the worst thing that ever happened to us.
And I have, like, my thoughts and stuff about that. It's just like, even Afghanistan, they had no vegetation. We gave them vegetation. We irrigated it. We grew it. It was like, hey, grow our heroin. And it's just like, it turned into this big thing. So it's like, it gets started by a lot of people, and it's just like, you know, one of those things that just gets out of control, and it's like, oh, this and that, and it's messy.
It's super messy.
That stuff
and
is
it's like, how does it even fix itself at this point? It's like, is it even possible to, like, I don't even know what fixing it even looks like, or like how that even starts. Yeah,
because I don't even know where to begin to even start talking about drugs, in my opinion, and where it needs to go, and what needs to stop, and what needs to be approved. But I just know marijuana is one of them things where they're regulating and everybody's just, you know, legalizing it. And I think that's, you know, for the people that are going to use it, they just need to figure out, just make it safe. Make it safe and make sure it stays out of the reach of kids. And
right.
I think once you do that, and you can, you know, just...
But it's even interesting, like, who's going to profit from it, as opposed to who's been put in jail for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think once you do that, because it's like, it's the same thing with, like, liquor. You can't be out here just, like, making moonshine and selling it. So it's the same thing, you know what I mean? You just can't be out here just growing your own weed and selling it. So you can't make your own moonshine and sell it. So it's just like, you know, just regulate it. If, you know, they need to make it so, you know, there are some individuals that don't have to have millions of dollars to do it. They can have, like, black-owned dispensaries,
right?
You know, and things of that nature. So it's not like a sense where it's just like monopolized by one group of people or things of that nature. So they just, you know, be able to get back to their own communities and things of that nature. So, or
yeah,
they just,
that's important.
Or if they have it in a certain neighborhood, they should, like, put it in, like, a area, like, it's like, all right, you have this dispensary here. Like, this dispensary needs to get back to this area. Like, you're going to be making millions of dollars.
Right.
Make sure the surrounding, because they were talking about making one on like 6th and Schuylkill. All right, you're in 6th and Schuylkill. Put stuff back into your neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Like, make it a better place. Like, you know, make that area better. You know what I mean? Fix the parks, fix the streets, do a lot of, you know, fix the buildings up around
Right.
it.
If you're going to make a profit.
Exactly. Help the area. Make it grow. Stimulate it.
Right.
If you're going to stimulate that area with all that traffic and all that money,
Mm-hmm.
stimulate it all the way by, you know.
Right, with some growth.
Yeah, pouring back into it. So I think it's once they do that, then it's like one of the things that's good. It's like, all right, pour back in. Let, you know, black-owned businesses happen, so it's not like costs like $5 million to open one. It's like, well, I don't have that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I feel like even that.
Ain't enough.
That, and it's just like the fact of it being so much to open one. It's like, who has that capital?
But that's for the license. I think it's like $3 million or something like that. They did this bidding thing where you had to bid on like the dispensaries and the openings. Like,
but we don't have that kind of capital.
Exactly.
We don't have that capital.
So it's like where that thing is like. That's why I'm saying like they need to just like be like, all right, here.
Like, if you're going to do this,
make it fair.
Then, you know.
Yeah, have a training or, you know, have some rules, educate them, you know, send them to growing classes or something like that. Just, you know. But I also think it's going to create a lot of jobs because I know it's like in California where they're like, even people like snipping leaves off of their buds and stuff like that, they were making a lot of money. So it's like one of the things that creates jobs. So,
right. I mean, I feel like it makes sense to explore.
Super stimulates the economy.
That, yeah. I feel like it makes sense to explore some of, like, people that are re-entering that may have gone there for that. I feel like there should be an opportunity. There should be some type of opportunity.
You can be a sales consultant. Come sell this weed. You got in jail for selling weed. We want you to sell this weed for us.
Listen.
Oh my gosh, you are crazy.
I feel like there needs to be something.
Let
like
the weed man
you
be a
done
weed man. Oh my
gave
gosh.
a portion of your life for this thing that's actually profitable.
Weedperations? You talking about
Weedperations. I like that. I
Oh
think
my
I want to
God.
advocate.
Oh my God.
I think I want to advocate. I feel like there needs to be a grant program for them to be able to get their own dispensaries.
Oh my God.
They clearly have the business sense.
Oh my God.
You know, we just got to make it formal.
Oh my goodness.
Listen, I feel like I found a new cause.
a local weedperations license.
I feel like, listen, it don't sound bad.
Give you times and where you can times and locations where you're able to sell your marijuana. God, you're crazy.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
They already have the skill.
Oh my God.
They already have the skill. They listen. They've mastered it. I'm just saying. So, you know, a lot of people end up in front of your bench. What do you feel like are some things that we can do, or direction that we need to move in, so there's less young black and brown people in front of you?
Think before they react. A lot of people just don't think. It's just stupid stuff, or reacting, or just, you know, making poor decisions. I think that's stop and think stuff that they used to tell us in school. Because I even do this now. It's like, you stop, think about what you're about to do. Then think about, if you do it, what could happen. So if you think, you just don't think about, oh, if I do this and I can get away with it, just happen. No, think about if you don't get away with it.
Right.
What's going to happen? What you're going to lose. And what can go wrong if you do something wrong and it just goes left, and the worst case scenario could outcome. And I just think you'd be like, all right, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. Because that's a lot of the times, it's like, you know, why are you smoking weed in your car? You don't just go and drink. Like, you shouldn't be, like, drinking and drive. Like, you wouldn't take, like, a bottle of Hennessy and drive around and drink it.
No.
Because it don't make sense. You just take your shots while you're driving. So
No.
why would you drive and smoke weed? That doesn't make sense. It don't make sense. Or just, like, don't do it in your car. Just just stuff like that. Because, like, all right, you play that through. I get pulled over. The cops smell it. I have this in my car. Now I get a DUI, or I get charged with personal possession. I lose my job because now I got to go to court. I got to call off work. Now I can't pay my rent. Now my kids can't have this. Now we get evicted. Now we got evicted. Now we don't have nowhere to live. Now we got to go to the shelter. Now I can't go in the shelter. I don't want to go in the shelter. Children, you take my kids. So now you just created a whole nother thing, and you're not even, like, it was stupid because you're old enough to realize that it's not a good decision. Just don't do it.
Don't do it.
You don't make your life difficult. Like, make your life better. Why? You get to a point where you're like, you're old enough to be able to, like, especially like when you're older, it's like, come on,
to decipher good decisions
like,
from bad decisions.
On. Like, are you serious? You know, like, you're not a kid anymore. Even when you're a kid, you got to be able to do this. But it's like you get a little slap on the hand, like, hey, these are delinquent acts. They're not crimes. So just don't do this anymore. It's like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm just being a kid. Which is great in a sense to me. I think it's like, imagine if you just had kids and you just made them straight criminals. That'd have just been rough.
I mean, that's been done, though.
Yeah, it has.
With that, what was his name? Mark Ciavarella?
He was funneling kids.
He was funneling kids to
the placements, though.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a placement. And that's the thing. He got in trouble for just taking kids and just sending them to a certain placement and getting kickbacks from the facility.
Yeah, that's
so he was
crazy.
like, all right, so now I'm going to give you this kid and throw me a little money. So it's like, you get this money from the state.
Right.
Kick me some money back, and I just keep on sending kids to your facility because I'm in charge of this juvenile division. So even kids that didn't deserve to go to placement, it's like, I'll give you a 3 to 6 months. I'll give you 6 to 12 months. I'll give you 3 to 9 months. So it's like, I send you there, they give me money. They did that on they did a little episode of that on, like, SVU.
They did it on Billions too.
Yeah.
But it was like the judge was sending people to a prison that he was investing in.
Oh, you see?
So he was building prisons with the people that he was sending to jail.
Yep. Funneling.
Yep.
Getting kickbacks from it because the state's gonna pay money to be there. Sometimes them kids, they pay detention. They pay like $400 a day.
A day.
For kids to be there.
That's crazy. That's a lot of money.
A lot of money. That's why the county shut down Schaffner.
I didn't know
There was people out there making $110,000 a year. Multiple people that were on the staff, not even supervisors, working overtime.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And then that was paying salaries, and they had to pay for the kids to go there. So now they sold the contract to South Mountain. So Dauphin County pays South Mountain to take Dauphin County kids. But man,
that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. So that's why they shut it down. But now you got parents that their kids get in trouble here. They got to drive an hour and a half away to see their kids.
I mean, that's sad too, though.
Yeah.
That is. But even that whole, like, you know.
Just to think about somebody doing that.
The funneling.
That's sad.
Like, that's horrible. It's just like you're literally taking
kids away from their
families. And even if it's like adults, like, you're literally taking them away from their families and stuff too. You're essentially putting a halt to someone's life and their day-to-day goings on for monetary gain.
Yeah, for your profit. Man, money make people do stupid stuff. They do. I don't even understand that because he was making good money. You're making good money already, man. You don't need to be greedy, just ruining people's lives, being unfair, unjust. Like, that don't even make sense. That's not cool at all.
I mean, but they say you can have everything in the world, and people lose everything by either being greedy or lazy.
I believe it.
Greedy or lazy. That's how you lose everything.
Man, it was this judge. She wasn't even going to work. She kept calling off and stuff like that. I forgot where it was at, but they fired her. She was like not going to work, got elected, was just like out for like 3-4 years. Like,
what?
Faking an injury type time. But
are you serious?
It was crazy. I watched the whole documentary. The news was following her. She got elected and everything. It was like, man.
And then just dipped out.
Yeah. And then it was this other judge, man. She tried to contact me. I was, She got in trouble for like a DUI. And like while she was at like court, she like went to go like try to purchase a shotgun, and she wasn't supposed to, and she got in trouble for that. I'm like,
what?
She inboxed a lady, stay away from me.
I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that
share my story. Stay away from me.
Listen, I don't need none of that.
I'm trying to straight line, follow the rules.
Right.
Even when they come in here talking, well, can you do this? You're allowed. No, I'm not. There go the rules. It tells me black and white. I'm not allowed to sign this. I'm not allowed to do this. You must do this, and this how it goes. Take that back. You have a nice day.
Right.
And then, well, this other judge,
I'm not that other judge.
Don't have nothing to do with me.
Right.
Yeah. Stop telling.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't
Right?
stop telling. So what are your like? What's next?
Oh man, I'm definitely right now. I'm on this Army stuff. So once I get that situated, next year I'm trying to hit law school.
Awesome.
And after that, I'm gonna try to get my PhD in judicial studies. So that's the plan.
That's what's up.
Take over so I can be Dr. Hanif Johnson Esquire. So,
Oh, that's heavy. Talk heavy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Talk heavy, honey.
Yeah. Put some at the beginning of my name and
In
at
the end. You
feel me? Yeah.
That's what's
All
up.
that.
That's super dope. That's exciting. I feel like you're what the justice system needs.
Oh yeah, I'm like once I get those credentials, I feel like I'll be able to,
Do more.
yeah, do more, say more, and like be heard a little more. Cause
Right.
like I definitely rung a little bells, but they little bells, blink, 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 blink. Like I need to ring some big bells, like dong, dong. Like we need to, you know what I mean? I just really need to, this. And then
This is how you're gonna create change.
yeah, and I think I'll be able to like do some pro bono work where it's like I can volunteer and just help people in need and just like
social justice stuff.
They don't have the money to get proper representation, and I feel like this is just giving me experience. I see a lot of stuff that I cringe and I can't say nothing because I'm in the middle.
Plea deals are crazy.
Man, listen, those ruin lives.
Plea deals are crazy.
Because they scare you with maximum sentences, even though the guidelines are, you're not going to spend that much time. It's like, I don't want to sit in jail, so you take this, I get probation.
Right. They didn't even do anything.
But it's like, I got this felony, but it's like a lot of times it's like you take it to court, and then it's like if you could have won it, but then you're scared because you don't want to take the time, and it's like, hey, don't get me started on that. It's crazy, and I see it all the time, and I just sit there like, I can't say anything. And some lawyers and public defenders, they just get a check. And they're okay with that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I just be like, yo, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and it's like in your mind, as like a person that, thinks logically, it's like, why would you ever agree to sign to say you did something or take this just so you don't have to, go through a trial or whatever?
When I went to jail, they tried that with me. They tried to get it continued. And the judge said no, because of a witness. She tried to get like a 60-day continuance to keep me in jail. She sent somebody out there 3 times, and I was only in jail for 2 weeks, to try to get me to plead on 3 separate occasions, and I didn't. I took it to trial and I won. So it's like one of the things is like a lot of people, if you think to yourself, if you want my life, you got to take it. You're going to take it in front of these 12 people.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you got 12 people listening to this.
Right.
Now it just has to be beyond a reasonable doubt.
Right.
So now if you have a doubt in your mind, and I get one person on there to say,
that don't sound right,
then we got a hung jury, and I got a chance. Or you can say, you know what? Okay. You don't have to prove that I did this. I'll just take the time because I don't want to get no more time. A lot of people do that even though they don't even do nothing. And they know they didn't do nothing, but they just say, all right, I'll just go ahead and take it.
Right. Because I can't fathom having to take this maximum sentence.
Yeah.
When if they just took their chance. Not
even knowing that they don't got no prior score, they can't be sentenced to this amount of time, but they're just telling you with these charges, this charge holds this amount of time.
Right.
Not that you're going to get this amount of time because of this charge.
But people don't know.
They don't know that. And they don't explain.
And they play on, people's ignorance.
It's a lot of gray.
A whole lot of
gray. And you can play it to your advantage, or they can play it to their advantage. It's how you word stuff.
Yeah, so if anybody listening don't take the plea. Take a chance. Don't take the plea. I mean, yeah, don't take the plea.
No, sometimes you have to.
I mean, if you didn't do it, I'm saying if you didn't do it. If you didn't do it, don't say you did something that you didn't do. Just because they put a piece of paper in front of you.
And I seen a plea deal that my man got lucky because he did some stuff that he probably should have been in jail for like years, and he got a couple months.
Well, I mean, in that case, if you did something, and you know what I mean, you could end up on the lighter side of things.
Yeah, go ahead and
that just makes sense. But if you didn't
accountable,
do something,
my brother.
Yeah, I mean, listen, accountability will change your life. That's my thing. But if you didn't do anything,
tighten up.
Right? Don't sign something saying you said something if you did. But yeah, so this was dope.
I had fun.
This was great.
Good catching up with you, talking to you.
I know, for sure. Yeah. I gotta come see you box. Knock somebody head off. How did you end up boxing?
You would have came yesterday, you would have seen me get my head boxed.
I see you. You got a little lump there.
Leafy lump.
Lump.
But yeah, I actually, you know, I'm a fan of the sport. You know, I get in there every now and then, and I just started fighting. Like, I had my first fight 3 weeks ago. So that first one, I won first round TKO. Then I had my last one last week. I won that one first round TKO, and I got one this Saturday coming up. And he won his last fight first round TKO.
Ooh, so it's going to be a good fight.
It's going to be banging.
Oh, yeah, where's that at?
Scranton.
Ooh, Scranton. I'm sorry.
My mom was like, Scranton. Look, I said Scranton, and she's like, oh, I'm coming next. Where's the next one at? I said, Philly. Oh, I can come to that one. I'm like...
Oh, you was in Philly this week?
No, Philly is the next one if I win this one.
Oh, when you come to Philly, I'm going to definitely be in the crowd.
See? Yeah.
You got to let me know. I'm going to definitely be there. I'm pulling up.
Club 2300 or something like that?
I know exactly where that's at. Yeah, that's behind the IKEA.
See, you know where it's at, yeah.
I'm in there.
Yeah, so if I win this one, then
I know you're going to win. When you win this one.
Yeah.
Not if you win.
That's for the state championship.
Oh, for real? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's lit. That's exciting.
Yeah. Then after this, I need a little break because this banging every week is crazy on my body.
That's a lot of wear and tear. We getting a little older.
Yeah. Take a little while to recover, man.
Yeah, we getting a little older now.
This banging on my body, man, ain't no joke. I be in there, man. It's
hurting.
Yeah. Be sore.
Days to recover.
I ran on Sunday sprinting for the first time. I'm coming home, my legs hurt, my feet hurt, my hands hurt. Stuff hurt, and I don't even understand why it hurt. Like, I ain't even do nothing with you. Why are you aching?
I feel you. Like, muscles I didn't even know I had.
Yeah. And then I lost 10 pounds, so I'm like excited about that. Because your boy was struggling.
How you do that? I need your boy was struggling. That hookup.
I started eating a little better.
Oh, I eat pretty well.
And I stopped eating junk. I ain't had me a Whopper in a minute.
I don't eat that stuff, so.
Yeah, so. Well, yeah, I started eating better and start running a little bit. It was rough, but.
You was a track star.
Yeah, but then when you sit on that couch for about 8 months, you gain like 30 pounds. You be like, whoo, I'm getting old.
I remember when I first saw you on like one of their little calendar joints, I was like, that's Hanif. Check Hanif out.
I'm trying.
Look at him. Check him out.
Yeah.
That's what's up, though. But thank you so much. I appreciate you. I can't wait to see you box in Philly in a couple of weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotta
it's going to be lit.
Because I got a lot of people coming. Can't be losing in front of my babies.
No, you can't be losing in front of the baby. You can't.
That's her.
They're going to be like, what happened? You can't walk out of that joint looking like Martin either.
No, like with the
you can't walk out of that joint.
With the lumps, when he had them lumps on his head. No. Dang. Look, I remember I got a shave for this joint. My dad was, my daughter was like, Dad, why you shaving your face? You going to turn into a girl. Like,
oh my gosh.
Jesus crazy. You went boxing, Daddy? I punched her in the face.
Your kids are so cute too. Oh my gosh.
My son, I don't know what I'm gonna do a little Rico Suave over there.
They are gorgeous.
This dude, man. He caught a ball the other day. I got super excited. He only won catch a ball.
Oh, check him out.
He be running and all. I'm like,
oh, he's gonna be a star too.
He's short. He gonna be short because I'm not that tall. I'm 5'10", 5'11". His mom is all short, and then he like.
He only won.
No, I'm not.
He only won. He's only won.
Yeah, but my daughter got like all this height. She all low.
He gonna catch up.
He been the same height since he been like 12 months, all the way like 18 months. He the same height. Little fat, boat-legged. Bow-legged, knock-kneed.
Oh, dang.
Pigeon toe.
Dang.
You can't. Every time
he might have a hard time to go.
I gave him my last name, so when I retire, he can run as Hanif Johnson.
Oh.
And he won't even know. Then he'll be like, well, what are you? Hey,
that's dope.
I'm a Hanif Johnson. That's Hanif Johnson. You voted for Hanif Johnson.
Exactly.
Same middle and last name.
Oh, wow.
Yep, so.
Oh, well, he got it made.
Yeah. Set him up for
He already
greatness.
set up.
I tried to do it, yeah. I told him.
That's what it's all about.
Come back home, you got a job, son.
Right here.
They do it all the time.
Right here.
Georgia's son is a district judge out the south side.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's how it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to go.
And Bianca, the man was in there, then his wife went in there.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be. That's how we gotta get.
Man, listen, pass it.
That's how we gotta get. I feel like we get so like competitive instead of like trying to help each other. Yeah. I feel like that's a big thing. I feel like it's a cultural thing though, where it's like, you know, people try to hoard resources. They try to hoard opportunities, and it's like, no, like what's for you is for you. Period. It doesn't matter if you share these resources. It doesn't matter if you share these opportunities. What's for you is still going to be for you. You're not going to lose out on nothing. If anything, you'll gain from sharing. Because
the man upstairs going to look out for you.
Exactly. Yeah, that and people just seeing and you modeling those things, people are going to want to help you out. Like showing love is free. Showing love is free. And people will always reciprocate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People always, even if it's not the person that you did it for, somebody's watching. People are always watching. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm so serious. Like, most of the opportunities that I've gotten is because somebody saw something that I did for somebody else. It's like, well, I saw what you did for that person, so I want to do this for you. Listen, it's really that easy. Yeah. Showing love. You know what I mean? Helping to light somebody else, not going to dim yours.
Yeah, stop hating.
Yeah, don't be a hater. Don't be a hater. Show love.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what the real mob do. Yeah, so. Oh, this was dope. Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate you. You want to give your handles? You want to tell people about any initiatives you got going on or anything you got going on? Or you want people to look up or anything like that?
No, if you want to follow me, Judge Johnson, I'll only be on Instagram.
Okay, at Judge_Johnson.
Yeah.
Check him out on IG.
I respond back all that.
Yeah, man responsive. All right, bye y'all. Thanks for listening.